Here in Massachusetts, powerful winds were a major concern all day today, and tonight, thousands of people across the state are without power. Damage, it's been reported in many spots on the South Shore here. There were a couple of collapses that authorities are trying to determine if the winds were to blame. Wind damage also reported in East Boston. Our cameras captured video here of this window just barely hanging off of a building. There were also some bricks that fell to the ground. This damage is being reported as more than 2,700 customers in Massachusetts are currently without power. Most of the outages are being reported in the eastern part of the state. The good news here is that the number of outages is down from the 25,000 outages that we saw earlier this afternoon. And with that, everyone, we have got live team coverage for you this evening. Darren Botello is in Weymouth, where several people were hurt in a construction site collapse. But let's begin with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Pete Bouchard. Pete.
There's a big low-pressure system up across Quebec. Brought us the winds through southern Quebec and Ontario that came down across southern New England today. And these were incredible gusts between Lawrence and Worcester, over 60 miles an hour, Bedford 56, Boston 53, and Quincy about 47 miles per hour. The wind gusts now have come down considerably and will continue to drop as we look for high pressure to move in, settle things down, and bring in more wind for tomorrow, unfortunately, on the backside of this and also with the next weather system, too. So gusts will again be up to 40 miles an hour as we rush back more cold air. There's cold temperatures tonight falling back into the 20s as we watch this batch of snow with the attendant winds behind it come in later tonight, closer to midnight. You can see that on the timeline. And then the exit early tomorrow morning. It looks like we're not going to even be in that snow first thing. But in the afternoon, we might see a couple of squalls move through. These may be with also gusty winds, too, so hold on tight. It's going to be a lot more wind just through tomorrow and then seems to calm down just a little bit. Our temperatures will cool off as well. This is the batch of snow. We're looking at basically 1 to 3 inches out of this whole batch of snow. More to come and our temperatures and a very busy forecast. Stay with us.
All right, Pete, we go to the South Shore where the wind may have been responsible for the collapse at 2 construction sites, including this one here in Weymouth. 5 people were taken to the hospital and now work is underway to figure out what went wrong. NBC 10's Darren Botello joining us live in Weymouth. I know you spoke to some witnesses about this, Darren. What'd they have to say?
Well, JC, first, police just leaving the scene here in Weymouth, but those witnesses, every witness we spoke with said there was a lot of wind at the time of both collapses. Meanwhile, here in Weymouth, 5 people taken to the hospital, 1 in critical condition. 2 construction site collapses, both on a very windy Tuesday morning on the South Shore. One collapse in Quincy, the other here in Weymouth, where witnesses saw 5 victims taken to the hospital, at least one of them on a stretcher, now in critical condition.
Within 3 seconds, that building just went down. I saw a man working on the roof.
Weymouth fire officials getting to the scene around noon. The collapse was at this construction site of a single-family house on Vine Street.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing.
Fire officials say one person was trapped between the first and second floors.
Our crews were able to shore up the building in order to make the extrication. They had to use hand tools and power tools in order to get that person out.
Right now, investigators are working to confirm this collapse was from the wind, as well as this other collapse on Tuesday morning of scaffolding on Washington Street in Quincy.
Just heard boom, boom, beam, boom.
Quincy fire officials tell us no one was on the scaffolding during the collapse and there were no injuries. The workers had to leave the site and a building next door was evacuated, with firefighters standing watch, they say, until the wind died down.
Dangerous, the rest of the scaffolding coming down due to these high winds, due to that it's being unstable and it's not secured.
And JC and Colton, as of right now, no update on that one person we do know is in critical condition at the hospital. Also, OSHA is investigating both of these collapses. Live tonight in Weymouth, Darren Botello, NBC 10 Boston.